Alright, thank you, Spy Poet. Hello everybody, I'm GreenZSaber, and today I will be running this game for you. It's called UnMetal, and it is an indie game that came out this year. It was released just last month, actually, and it kind of resembles a very popular series, which will be evident the moment I start playing the game. Just so you know, the developer is a fan of the of MSX games, so that should tell you where the inspirations for this game came from. So without further ado, I will start the game, just making sure that we're on the easy difficulty. I have tried to play around with hard difficulty, but at the moment not many people are trying to run hard difficulty, so most people have been working on easy, so that's what I'm gonna do today. Alright, without further ado, I'll get started and let's go. Alright, easy. Timer starts when I pick difficulty, which is easy, so do it. Okay, so start off. We're locked in a prison cell, and we are Jesse Fox, and we were imprisoned for a crime that we didn't commit. So our goal is to escape this prison and head back home. Okay, so we've escaped the prison, and now the real action will begin. So now we get to fight guards. As you can see, this highly resembles Metal Gear, in case you haven't figured it out already. So there are a lot of features that are unique to this game compared to your standard Metal Gear game. So first off, there's an experience system in this game, and you can level up to 10, and as you level up, you'll gain some perks that you can use to make your character stronger. And right now we're trying to get some radio parts to make a radio. You can pick up items and then you can combine them to form new items that you may need to do quests. So we're talking to the colonel here, and we need to give him a radio because he's trapped in the prison and we can't get him out. So the next best thing we can do is to have the colonel. The next best thing we can do is have the colonel be our guide, like the other Metal Gear Solid games. Now the experience system, the way that works in this game is you have to knock out guards without them ever seeing you for the experience to actually count. If a guard sees you and you knock a guard out, then you're not going to get any experience for him. It's just how the game works, because they do want to encourage a stealthy play style. And then this is supposed to be a parody-like game, so this game's plot does not take itself very seriously. You'll find a lot of jokes, potty humor, and literally you will use toilets to save the game. And here's just a sample of the jokes that the game does. First, I leveled up. I pick a perk called Sprint, which will allow me to run faster. Obviously, this is a speed run, so we want to go fast. Alright, so I could have just gone to the guards and punch them to knock them out, but I wanted to show you guys a sample of the jokes in this game. And before I do this, I'm gonna need to make some items. The items here are important because I have a slingshot that I need to make that will allow me to actually fight this boss. Here's the first boss, a grenade guy. As the name implies, he throws grenades. Grenades will deal heavy damage to you, so you never ever want to get hit by them.
Boss defeated.
And that's grenade guy. So now we have to search the grenade guy, and we get a hook, and the hook can be used to combine with the rope that we got to get a rope with a hook. And we will use the rope with a hook to get out of this area and into the next stage. So that's our first stage done. And we're gonna go to the next stage. Oh, and this game has gotten a fair bit of updates recently. I haven't played since the game got updated like recently, so some changes may be new to me. Apparently, the game added like a PB feature, so it can track your PBs, because the developers definitely wanted to encourage people to speedrun this game. So they try to make it speedrun friendly, add a speedrun timer and all that. So here's our next boss, Sergeant Rocco. You can't hit him directly because he's hiding behind all this furniture, so you just toss this globe at him, and that's Sergeant Rocco. So now we search Sergeant Rocco to get a key card. We'll be needing to get through some doors. So obviously we don't want to be in the sewer for very long, so we're gonna try to get out of here as quick as we can. And then here's some fishmen. We don't want to actually fight these fishmen because doing so will trigger a dialogue prompt. So I'm picking up these plastic drums because I do need them for a mandatory item that I'll get later on. And I have to call the colonel. Usually I have to end up calling people before I can progress. That's just the nature of this game. Okay, and then I'm gonna try to do a skip here so I can get past this dog. Normally with this dog, dogs are very dangerous, as you can see. You can't actually hurt them, so you have to... Normally what the game wanted you to do was to pick up a key item, which is meat, and throw it to the dog so that the dog can be distracted and you can just walk across. But using that skip I did, I was able to get past the dog without needing to get that item. And I have to do it again on the way back. I'm gonna have to head back to the sewers in a bit. So I pick up some items. Now I just need to make a radio, and I need to make a platform. So now I have to give the radio to this guy here, who will be our other source of help. And then I have to do this to get past the dog. So we got a call here. We have to answer this call. That's kind of an ongoing thing with this game. Okay, so now we need the platform. I'm going to assign a hotkey to this platform so I can access it a lot easier. We will be switching between items pretty frequently in this run, so it's nice to have quick access to certain items. Okay, I'm wounded, so I will heal myself. So the way healing works in this game is you can use a first aid kit to heal yourself, but it takes some time to actually finish the healing process. So it is kind of slow, but usually whenever you get hit once, you will enter like a bleeding state. When your health bar is red, that means you're gonna continuously take damage unless you A, enter a save point, or B, load your save, or use a first aid kit. So here's a sequence where you get to turn into an acorn and have to dodge a horde of rabid squirrels. Just to give you an idea of the humor in this game. Yeah, so the way the story is told is the protagonist Jesse Fox is actually being interrogated by some government facility, and basically the way the events in the game unfold is how Jesse Fox is telling it. And since you are Jesse Fox, whenever you get like these dialogue prompts, whenever you get these dialogue prompts, the response that you give will directly influence what happens in the actual game, because you know the game is supposed to unfold how Jesse Fox himself is telling it. Yeah, so what is this game? As I said in the beginning, this is UnMetal. It's an indie game that came out this year. It came out actually last month, or like 6 weeks ago, I think. And it is inspired heavily by the MSX Metal Gear games. And it doesn't really take itself seriously, so you're going to see a lot of silly stuff. So if you like Metal Gear games and if you like retro style games, I highly recommend picking this one up. It's pretty good.
Is it bad I wanted to look at chat and go, it's a little nutty?
No, not at all. Okay, so here's our second boss, Sewer Junk. As the name implies, he's a sewer monster made of junk. So we have to use this flamethrower to damage him. Well, we could make a platform and punch him. There's actually an achievement for that, but we want to use the flamethrower because it makes us go fast. There was a prompt that I saw that I had to do that asked how many tentacles Sewer Junk had, 2, 4, or 6. I had to select 6 because choosing the other options are like give you more than 6 tentacles. Like if you say 2, the game will be like, oh, you mean 24 tentacles. Or if you select 4, it's like 4 pairs of tentacles. So yeah, obviously we want the lowest amount of tentacles. But yeah, that's Sewer Junk. Our flamethrower broke, unfortunately, so we are unable to use the flamethrower anymore, but that's fine. Sewer Junk was low on HP, and so we just used the platform to punch it to death. Now we just have to get past these blades, which are one shot.
Mr. Fox.
They are one-hit kills, so we don't want to touch them in any capacity. And that's stage 2. Now stage 3. This is where it starts to get interesting. So I'll knock this guy out. And then we're gonna meet a doctor. And then we'll get a lot more stuff that will allow us to get our we'll get a lot more stuff that will allow us to dispose of guards easily. So here we get confronted by the doctor, and then we stab ourselves with a wire because according to the game, the doctor cannot break the Hippocratic Oath. So she is forced to heal us despite being a doctor of the enemy forces. And yeah, she lets us off scot-free, and we can do whatever we want. Actually, we in exchange we have sworn an oath to the doctor to not kill any guard. Now, you notice I pick up a pistol. I can shoot guards with the pistol, but I will be forced to heal guards, otherwise I will get a game over. Because of the oath that Jesse had sworn to the doctor to never kill any guard. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You get a pistol, but you're never ever allowed to like outright kill people with it. So you can shoot them to disable them, but like you have to end up healing them at the end of the day if you want to get to progress with the game. Oh, and I was just in a secret. There's a lot of those throughout the game, and I won't get that many of them, but I'll get some just for safety purposes. Ooh, I don't think I've seen that before. The elevator magically disappeared. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm playing on a newer update that I haven't run the game since this update was went live, so might be some funky stuff going on. But it's okay. I trust the developer to make sure that the game is better off than what it was before it got updated. And then here's our next boss, Megatron. It's a mega version of those drone enemies that we were fighting, or that we passed by. You just shoot bullets at it, and then that's it. That's Megatron.
Boss defeated.
Do you have time for a donation?
Sure.
So we have $11 from the Great Todd Man that says, Kirby's Dream Land, beat the game for next year. I'm calling you all out. Let's get it.
Alright, anything else?
Incentives. So most of the incentives will end at some point within the next, I'm going to say hour, but I don't know actually how long most of them will, because Final Fantasy VII is a pretty long game. But the biggest one is we do have a language incentive out there. So if you want to pick what language we have to read the game in, go ahead and get those in.
Okay, so I pick up 2 items. They're called Chloro and Form, and then I combine them to form Chloroform. And I won't use the Chloroform just yet. I will use that at a later point, the stage, to perform a skip that hopefully wasn't patched out. I think the dev does encourage the idea of using that in a skip in a speed run, since it's not normally something. Oh, okay. I think this needs to be addressed. I cannot see anything in this elevator. Yeah, like I said, new update. I never know what's gonna happen. Okay, so oh, and I forgot to mention, the game is fully voice acted. Every single dialogue is voice acted. So if you like the cheesy dialogue that goes with some Metal Gear cutscenes, this game will be right up your alley. And there's a lot of cheesy dialogue in this game. So I have this anti-radiation suit, I think it's called, and I'm using it to get past those blinking lights. Ah, fudge. Well, you see, that's what happens if you don't have the suit on when you are in front of those blinking lights. They're sensors, and if they spot you, they will trigger an instant alert. And alerts are bad in this game, like any Metal Gear game. There's, of course, your caution and your alert. Caution is okay, because you can get rid of it pretty easily by knocking out the guard, but there's some things that trigger instant alerts, and like those detectors, and we really don't want any alerts in this game, otherwise you're gonna have a bad time. Also, I'm going out my way to pick up these batteries because there is gonna be a mandatory quest coming up to give a guy 12 batteries so he can disable this sensor blocking the door. And there's a sensor.
I was fine.
And now we're gonna have a time event that we have to get to the bottom of the elevator in like 2 minutes, and we're already at the bottom floor because I used the chloroform, which allows me to teleport to the bottom floor. Yeah, so funny how that works. So it's a good thing the dev didn't patch this one out, because otherwise I would have been lost like a couple minute or so trying to get back to the bottom floor. But anyways, we reached the doctor. She's apparently getting interrogated by some of the higher ups in this facility. So now we have to check on her to see that she's okay. And she is okay, so now we're gonna fight this lieutenant here. First I have to disable the 2 guards here. Now you see there's this red bar hanging over their heads. You do not want this red bar to hit 0 or to empty out, otherwise they will bleed out and you will get a game over, like I mentioned earlier. And that's Lieutenant Marcuson. So I shot Lieutenant Marcuson, but we will be forced to heal him in a bit. I'm gonna go back and get some first aid kits just in case, because we might be needing them just for safety purposes. And then I also want to stock up on bullets, because bullets are going to be a scarce commodity later on in the game, and I do want to have as much bullets as possible. Alright, so I'll sneak past this last guard, and that's it. The reason I'm carrying Lieutenant Marcuson to the door is because we need to bypass some biometric scanner. So now we're out of the base and we're in the jungle. Ooh, okay, what the heck? Alright. An alert has been carried over, but I just loaded my save and that's done. Okay, so now we just go past this section and that's it. Okay, so let me see if I have this correct. Okay, so normally I'm supposed to get a key item to get past this minefield here, but you can get through it. Like the state of the minefield is randomized, so unfortunately I didn't have too much time to prep to see to memorize what the correct minefield configuration was, so I'm just like going off memory. But I think I need to knock out these two guards out first to have an easier time with them. Oh, okay, that's bad. Let me see if I can remember this. It does save a lot of time to remember. Like I said, I didn't have too much time to prep here to remember where the minefield was, so I'm gonna have to go off of memory here. Okay, so I can try like 10 times and still come out ahead, because getting that key item is pretty slow. Just have to remember where the spots where this is. Okay, so that's the first part, and then for the second part... Okay, yeah, I'm through. And then there's another part with a minefield. This should be the last minefield in the stage. Give me a second, I have to pull up my cheat sheet. I forgot that I had a part coming up that I need to like memorize a whole bunch of instructions. Okay, so now that I've done that, we're gonna come up with a maze, and I need to be able to navigate this maze properly to go fast, otherwise we're gonna be spending a lot of time in here. But yeah, as I was saying with the minefield, it's the state of the minefield is fixed the moment you boot up your game, so I can get like a pattern that I can easily remember, and then I'll try to commit it to memory, and then as long as you don't close up your game, you will get the same minefield pattern for every run that you do. But yeah, we don't have to worry about any more minefields, thankfully. That was probably the most game overs you'll see for this run. But thankfully game overs are pretty short, so getting game overs isn't too bad this game. Okay, so you see, I need to make sure I navigate this maze properly. So as you saw there, I went back to the start, so west, west, south, south, east, north, east, east. Ah, shoot. Okay, I have to make sure I remember. I gotta commit memory, or no, I'm gonna need to like do this one at a time. Yeah, remembering things is hard when you haven't played the game in several days. Okay, so south, south, and then east, north, and then east, and then east, north, east, south, south, west, west, and south, and we're out of here. Okay, so that was the maze. There is another maze that's gonna come up, but I have
Sir, I saw someone behind the fence.
I think I remember that one a little better than this one. I still have to refer to my notes for this maze, unfortunately, because everything looks the same. Yeah, route memorization is hard, especially if it's mostly everything looks the same. Alright, so here there's like a we're in a barracks full of guards, but fortunately we can just run past most of all these guards and not trigger an alert, because apparently if you let a guard see you, but then you do a screen transition, the guard will never trigger an alert. So yeah, we can just run past all these guards. I will load this save so I can despawn those guards that are chasing me. And then I'm gonna knock this guy out so he... oh yeah, in this chapter we have to... any guard that we knock out, we have to put in a barracks, otherwise the game will not let you proceed. Then I'm gonna grab a couple more bullets here. Oh shoot. I'm gonna have to put this guy in a barracks as well, because I knocked him out. Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with using notes, I just have to use them effectively, you know, use them without losing too much time, that's the key. Oh, here's our first of two bosses in the stage, Machine Gun Mike. You just throw grenades at him and he's done.
Boss defeated.
But as you saw, he wasn't actually killed. He just ran away. Well, you can't actually like kill anybody in this game, but the point stands. He's still standing. He's not knocked out. So now he goes to this tank and then becomes Splash Mike, and that's the actual boss for this stage. So we get the rocket launcher in this stage. I should probably hotkey grenades. Okay. And obviously, since we got the rocket launcher in this stage, we're gonna have to use the rocket launcher to defeat Splash Mike. Oh, if you ever play this game casually, know that Mike is a very sacred name in this game. Oh, well, let me just put it that way. Yeah, we don't have much ammo for the rockets at this point because we just got the rocket launcher, so we have to have this tank break all the trucks and crates around the area so we can get ammo. And that's a tank. So now that we've beaten the boss for the stage, time to move on to stage 6. So as you can see, there's 10 stages. We're halfway through the game.
So...
The trucks.
And let's see, I'm gonna throw a grenade here. Oh look, we got an achievement. There's an achievement for blowing up 5 boxes at once with a grenade. Now we have to put up with this section. So there's some engineers here, and they've got this saw blade that they're controlling. So we need to disable the saw blade. But since we took that oath with the doctor to not kill anybody, we have to heal these engineers when we've stunned them with the grenades. And Now, oh, leveled up. Let's see what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get Gunslinger, reloads the gun automatically. Sounds pretty good to me. And note that healing a guard will use up one of your first aid kits, so it is kind of important to have a good stock of first aid kits in case you end up needing to heal guards and yourself as well. So now we're in the submarine. We're gonna try to use it to escape, but first we need to get a key for the submarine. And we're gonna go to the to this recycle bin and toss out all the junk that we aren't gonna be using anymore, and get the key that's conveniently right next to the recycle bin. So I have to equip the key to use it on the submarine, and now we can enter this section where you control submarine. So first we have to make a pit stop here so we can actually get ammo for the submarine, since we will be fighting, we will be needing to destroy some things coming up. So yeah, we gotta pick up some torpedoes. And we don't want to touch any of those mines. They will destroy the submarine in one hit. And we haven't really saved at all, so yeah, we're gonna be set a fair bit back if we ever die in the section. And then there's the torpedo launcher that I probably do want to destroy, because I think it will also one-shot us. Oh, and bonking the submarine does deplete it on a wall, does deplete its health fairly quickly, so you don't want to try to continuously bump into walls if you can help it. So we're almost done with this section. We just have to destroy these two mines, and then we can just go up here, pooch in through, and then I'll reload my save so I can get all the health back for the submarine. Don't ask me how that works, it just does. And then we're gonna fight this boss, Hug Eel. It's named Hug Eel because, as you can see, it just wants to give you a hug. Since it doesn't have any arms, it's trying to hug you with its mouth. But unfortunately, we don't want to be hugged by eels, so we have to shoot torpedoes in its mouth to make it stop. And we've finally beaten it, and it's finally stopped trying to hug us. And now we're out of there. We're out of the submarine, and hopefully we're out of. We've finally escaped from these people. Unfortunately, that's not the case, because yeah, the game's still going, which means we still have to fight more guards. So we have to get these $10 million bills, a stack of $10 million bills from these random crates. Because we will be needing that a little bit later. Ooh, that's kind of bad. Oh, okay, it didn't trigger an alert, so that's fine. Alright, so... okay, good. Those guards I just knocked out can trigger an alert very quickly, so it's very fortunate that I did not get an alert there. So now we use the $10 million bills that we got to somehow purchase the submarine, which immediately gets destroyed by a bolt of lightning. And since we're still looking for a way out, yeah, we want to like look around the docks some more for a way out. gonna throw a grenade here to break these crates quicker. Okay, there's an alert, but it's not really a big deal because we're gonna be facing a boss in a bit, which turns off all alerts. So here's the boss, the nuclear submarine. So the first order of business is to use grenades to get rid of boxes, because the boxes are the real boss in this game, believe it or not. The real boss in this fight, I mean. The sub, as you can see, it throws these missiles at you that will leave behind this residue that you really don't want to step on, and if you're trying to dodge the missiles, the boxes can't get away, and it's not really a fun time if you are caught in the if you get stuck in a box while trying to dodge the missiles.
Boss defeated.
Okay, so that was the nuclear sub. It went down a lot faster than last update, because the last time I ran this, because apparently there was an update that lowered the health for the sub on easy difficulty, because people thought the submarine was too tanky. So thank you for that, developer. And then I'm gonna just not take those. I'll distract those guards, and then I'll sneak in, use the gasoline to power up this boat that I used to escape. But unfortunately, we're going to be chased by this enemy helicopter, the Black Thunder. And we're just going to have to shoot down the Black Thunder. Okay, well, that did go as planned. It's okay, it's not too long. If you bonk into anything in this encounter, you pretty much get a game over and have a restart. Okay, so if I do this properly, the Black Thunder should last very long. And there's the Black Thunder. So how are you all enjoying this game at the moment? It's definitely something I recommend playing casually, like Metal Gear games, because the dialogue is just, oh, it's so wonderful. They nailed everything I like about the Metal Gear dialogue. As far as the cheesy aspect goes. Okay, so we have to get this bolt cutter that we'll be using to open this door. And then we have to do some sneaking action here. Oh, that's new. These cameras didn't have a cone of vision visible in the last time I played this game. So it's nice to see that they're actually a thing now. Yeah, it's actually nice to see, to know when you are at risk of triggering an alert. Because when I was running this game a bit a few weeks ago, we mostly had to guess where the field of vision of the cameras were. But it's nice to finally have this confirmation, so we can actually know when to just get going. All right. So yeah, also those cameras will trigger an instant alert the moment they see you, so you really don't want to let them see you. And then we pick up those items so we can make a dummy of the guards. So we have to knock out these guards and then put the dummies in place. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I pressed the fire button when I should have pressed the item button. Let me get rid of the rocket launcher so I don't fire it again accidentally. Alright, so there's that. Now leveled up. Then I'm gonna wait for this camera because I don't know what cycle it's on. If I get an alert here, I'll have to do the previous camera again, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so I have to go to this particular door to grab a key item called the EM grenades. The EM grenades, as the name implies, will allow us to disable the cameras. Temporarily, of course, because they don't want to make this game too easy for us. And I need to equip the bolt cutter because I'll be needing it for this section. The EM grenades are gonna see a lot of use in this section, in the upcoming section. So, yeah, oh shoot. This is what they're used for. Yeah, those cameras don't move, so if you go under them, they'll always see you, but with the EM grenades, you can prevent that for a bit. And then one last camera, and then we're off to the woods. So now we have one final side, or not sides, one final quest to do before this chapter's over. So we have to get this pizza box, and then we have to get this fire extinguisher and use the pizza. I hope I checked the pizza box. Alright, we'll find out in a bit if I did. I didn't check it. Yeah, I have to examine the pizza box the moment I get it, because apparently it'll trigger a certain bit of dialogue that is required to progress. If you don't do that, you'll get an alert like I just demonstrated there. But I've examined the pizza box now, so I just need to not get seeing the cameras, and we should be able to get through the chapter. Alright, so I did that. Now the pizza is steaming hot. So pick pizza and then pepperoni, and we're in the clear. So yeah, that's chapter 8. Chapter 9, we're in the heart of the enemy base. So I'll break these computers and then cut the wires to turn off the alerts. So I can choose to have the guards I face be either Scandinavian guards or exterminators. I'm gonna pick exterminators because unlike Scandinavians, exterminators aren't human, so therefore I can... Well, I don't kill them, I destroy them. And destroying is technically not killing, so we can shoot the exterminators without penalty, which is really nice. So now we face the doctor, or who's like in charge of the the like ballistics, I think, and we have to. He's actually a quote-unquote good guy, but he's being forced by the enemies to do their bidding. So yeah, we have to. We kind of have to. We kind of have to heal the that one doctor that we knocked out. But yeah, that doctor was on our side, so nothing to worry about. Okay, so these spider bots, they're actually pretty dangerous. If they have like a 360-degree field of vision, so if they spot you, they will relentlessly pursue you. Also, there is, but the good part is they don't actually trigger alerts if they spot you. They'll just go after you on their own accord. So we went through that room to get the anti-radiation suit. Now there is actually a skip to. There's actually like a setup to skip this particular item. The problem is it requires getting a lot of the secrets which give you health upgrades, and I did not do that, so I cannot do that skip. So I'm just gonna do it the old. Just did it the old-fashioned way, and plus it's safer too because the skip is kind of very precise, and you also have to deal with these spider bots if you fail. And the spider bots are kind of random. So you just have to get through this section with the cameras, and then we'll be out of the most dangerous part of this chapter. Yeah, I'm not gonna ignore that guy. It's not really a big deal. And I'm gonna just walk up to him and punch him. The guards do take a bit of time before they can call an alert, so you do have a small window to punch him unconscious. I'm gonna just shoot and heal this guy. Alright, so I'm gonna go to this floor. First, I'm gonna knock these two guys out, so I don't have to deal with them later. I'm gonna come back here at some point. I'm gonna come back here after I get through this floor. It's just that due to the way the game works, saving, you know, I want the progress for that I knocked those guys out to be saved. Since the rooms up, I'm gonna have to do up ahead for that floor are kind of dangerous. So here I'm at the rooftop. I'm looking for some wires and metal clamps to disable a radio tower. Here's the last clamp wire, and then I'll just make the wire with clamps. Then I'm gonna go to the radio tower so I can disable it. Okay, so I have to cut the wires in a very specific order. If I don't, I will instantly die because I will trigger an explosion if I don't. Black, green, and then yellow and blue. Then I need the bolt cut equipped so I can cut more wires. So blue, red, and black. Alright, so that's done, and then I just need to go to the helicopter that I was supposed to be using to make my escape. And now that's triggered, I am done with this floor and don't have to come back here anymore. Well, ideally I do want to come back here, but I don't have the key. So, fortunately we can't do much right now.
I answer.
Oh yeah, these guards are a different kind of guard than the usual guards I've been facing, because they're actually like the Japanese guards, and they have the ability that they can see from like a 180-degree field of vision. So if they spot you, they will trigger an alert. I'm gonna make a save here just because we have a boss coming up. Okay, so here's our boss, a Japanese samurai guy. Okay, I messed up. That's why I saved. I don't think I got enough hits in with the gun. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, there we go.
Boss defeated.
Yeah, that one's a bit precise, but also very risky. You do run the risk of dying if you try to do that quick kill, but it looks pretty cool if you can pull it off, so that's why I decided to just go for it rather than playing it safe. So now that we have the map, the map is for like a labyrinth that we have to go through, because the key that we're looking for is we have to go through the labyrinth for that. Yeah, the samurai can actually parry your gun, so it's not as effective as you might think. Or not parry, block your gun. So I have to pick up this this night goggles, because that's what allows us to see in the labyrinth, because it's pitch black down there.
Welcome.
Okay, so now we have to navigate this dark, or formerly dark maze. And then there's also ghosts that we'll encounter that will suck up our health if we let them. Apparently I can just, they're a lot slower in this update, so I can just run past them. Actually, I'm trying to let them latch onto me, because I do want to burn through my first aid kits, as odd as that sounds. The reason I need that to do that is because of the final stage. If you have first aid kits in your inventory, the final boss will steal your first aid kits and use them to heal himself. So we want to go through we want to reach the final boss with no first aid kits available. And I'm gonna leave one first aid kit just in case I need it. My health is not full anyway, so I can heal that with the one first aid kit I have remaining if needed. Oh, and also this maze, it has a fixed solution, but it is a pretty long maze, but thankfully I got through it, and I didn't actually use notes that time. If you take a wrong turn in that maze, you will fall into a pit and die. That's how that maze works. So now we're in the final stage. This is a pretty short stage. There's not many soldiers that we'll be facing. First, we need to get these C1 items. You might... there's 4 C1 items that you have to get. You might kind of know where this is gonna be going. If you've played any Metal Gear game. So we have our final C1 items here, and then we gotta get this wristwatch. So we're gonna combine some stuff: C1, C2, C3, and then C4, and combine with wristwatch to make C4 with wristwatch, which is a bomb, and we're gonna use this bomb to blow up this tank, this gasoline tank, and then we're gonna go to the... We're gonna go confront the big bad, the leader of this entire operation. And then we're now triggering a bunch of the soldiers since we caused an explosion, so we're just gonna like punch them from off screen. And oh, the colonel that we were talking to throughout the game, this is him that we're carrying. So yeah, we're trying to escape with the colonels. That's our objective. Okay, let me see if I can ninja this. Okay, cool. I just hope I don't bleed to death, because that's a thing. Okay, my health is stored. Unfortunately, I still have my 1 first aid kit. Unfortunately, that's a bummer. I'll probably have to get hit on purpose. Yeah, when you reload your save while you're in a bleeding state, you will actually like restore your health back to full. So unfortunately that did work against me that time. I'll have to get hit in the final boss fight, which is coming up soon. Yeah, here's the big bad General X. Yeah, I'll have to get hit by the tank that's coming up. These drones are a bit too slow to... Alright, so I'll probably get hit by the tank here. Okay, well that's a bit too much for my take.
I ran.
It should be fine. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm gonna switch to first aid kit, pistol, or EM grenades and pistols. So but the final phase coming up. The general's invisible, and we have to use the EM grenades to uncover him. Then, when he tries to escape, we'll have to shoot him down. Whoops. Okay. There we go. And time should be coming up pretty soon.
Harris and I went to the helicopter. A few minutes later, when
Okay, that's time.
The next thing I remember was waking up, hanging.
And that's UnMetal, 90% easy. Hope you enjoyed the game. And yeah, it's like I said, it came out earlier. It came out last month, and it's pretty fun. Lots of secrets, lots of humor.
the lieutenant and the sergeant were shocked and immediately apologized.
It's also a pretty interesting speed run
A few
as
days
well.
later, the Army
Yeah, I was a bit rusty, so I went a little overestimate. So, but hopefully that wasn't too big of a deal. And I did have to deal with a new update that I've never played before as well. So Yeah.
I
Any?
think it went great.
Okay. I was gonna ask any like donations to read.
That metal really exists?
It didn't. They had to invent it, as they had nothing that they
So,
could
do you have any
provide for a
donations
civilian.
you'd like to read, or can we move
Refreshing
on?
it. We are just about to close the language bid war, though, for Final Fantasy VII, so last minute donations for that, time to get them in.
Militaries
All
don't
right.
get why killing is wrong.
But anything else you'd like to say before we get switched over for our last game?
Well, I mean, if you like, if you are interested in this game and do want to run it, you can. This game, while not being an official Metal Gear game, it is kind of it has kind of been housed under the Metal Gear Speedruns umbrella. It's listed as part of the quote-unquote Metal Gear series on speedrun.com. So if you want to get involved with this game, join the Metal Gear Speedrunners Discord. And yeah, that was my first experience with the Metal Gear community directly, and they're a pretty great group of folks. If you want, you can follow me on Twitch. I mean, but I may not be streaming this game. I'm kind of on a bit of a hiatus from hardcore speedrunning. I mostly have been playing games from my backlog as of late. I'm currently trying to play Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon 2. Pretty good so far. But yeah, I think I've said my piece. We could probably get to the next run shortly.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much for the run, GreenZSaber. Let's get some GGs again in the chat for them. And we will be back in a minute or two with Final Fantasy VII.
Alright, my buddy's running that game, so good luck to him.